Mr. Secretary, in previous hearings, you and I and others have had conversations about sexual harassment. It's our understanding that you plan to release an updated department-level anti-harassment policy soon. Will you agree to provide us a copy of the draft department-wide policy?
Sexual harassment, my policy is simple, zero tolerance.
Yes, sir, but will you agree to provide us a copy of the draft department-wide policy?
I think we're just about done with that. I think we're going to release it next week. I'll provide a copy to you.
Thank you. And how will you ensure that all bureaus' anti-harassment policies are updated to meet the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission standards?
Well, that's one of the things. Up front, our survey has improved on it. I take it seriously. I was appalled at actually one of my advisory committees. A statement by one of the members that resigned was, yes, we knew about sexual harassment, but it wasn't our job to say anything.
Yes, sir, I understand that, but my question is how will you ensure that all the Bureau's anti-harassment policies are updated to meet the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission standards? Are you saying that they will meet those standards?
The way we're doing it right now is each of the bureaus has submitted their draft. Some of the bureaus submitted a stronger than others, and then we're going through with our solicitors, all departments, to make sure that we have the strongest possible standard within the different departments. That's where we're at, so I'm sure EO is a part of it, as well as making sure that the different bureaus that we're tasked have some continuity between them. And our policy in general is see it, say something. And we take it seriously. I fired 4 people. And,
Thank you, Mr.
And they told me I couldn't fire. I'll fire 400 if necessary.
Secretary, that wasn't my question. Let me move on to my next one. One of the actions that DOI took to address sexual harassment was to require all bureaus to produce action plans for addressing harassment at the bureau level. It's my understanding those plans were supposed to have been submitted to Deputy Bernhardt within 45 days of the announcement, which by my estimation was the end of January. Will you provide a copy of those plans to me so that we can ensure proper oversight? This is especially important since my request for a hearing on the issue is yet to be honored by the majority.
We'll supply the reports. Draft reports, I don't think there's any requirement to do that, working drafts, but we'll work with you if you'd like to come over and make sure.
Mr. Secretary, it's my understanding that they were due to Deputy Secretary Bernhardt within 45 days of the announcement of the policy, which would have been the end of January. Are they not done yet? Are they still in draft form?
Well, first of all, that was my direction. So, second of all, we have copies of it.
Are they not done yet, Mr. Secretary?
They are being reviewed.
So they're not done yet. Is that the case?
Is there a final copy, final form? No.
All right. Mr. Secretary, NASA, the military, business leaders, local governments, and countless other Virginians have vocally opposed offshore drilling in Virginia's waters, and that has been done on a bipartisan basis. Why has Virginia not received the same consideration that you've offered other coastal states, particularly Florida?
And what consideration would that be, sir?
Not having offshore drilling off our coast and taking us off the list?
Virginia has received the same consideration as every other state. All states are still in the process, although I did commit with Virginia to make sure there's no oil. I've committed to no new oil and gas platforms off the coast of Florida, primarily because of 3 reasons. One is because every member contacted me. The governor asked for an immediate meeting, and there's a federal moratorium that would prevent me from conducting oil and gas operations off the coast, on the basis of the coast of Florida. On the basis of that, I committed to it. Other states I have committed to. I've talked to every governor. I have talked to almost every member, and we're committed to make sure our plan reflects the interests of the local communities. I can tell you most of the congressional districts on the coast are opposed to it, with a few exceptions. The governors on the East Coast, other than Maine and Georgia is on the fence, on the East Coast, the governors are all opposed. The West Coast universally is opposed along the coast. And that's where we sit on the plan.
Okay. Mr.